Alright, I'm going to demonstrate how to cut your hair. If you need to cut your own hair, if you want to cut your own hair, it's a great idea, saves a lot of money, but more importantly for me, it saves a lot of time. I don't have to go anywhere except my own bathroom and just pull out the gear that I need and cut away. This film's going to be a little bit shaky because it's going to be a handheld camera in this case. My son is my videographer. But you're looking at all the equipment you need to cut your hair. A set of, what do you call those things? Cutters, trimmers, and two different, well, however many you need. I use two different size guards. That for the top of my head I use a 3/4 or number 6 and a number 4 or 1/2 for the top of my head. I'm leaving out one important ingredient though. What is that? Duct tape. No job can be done properly without duct tape. So you're going to see how we use duct tape in cutting our hair. I've got my trimmers here. These things cost 10 or 20 bucks, which is the same as the cost of getting a haircut. So investing in one of these is a good idea. Even if you only use it 3 times or 4 times, you've done well. You're supposed to oil them and treat them. I don't do it very often, every once in a while. But here's what I do. I put on the guard. This is a 3/4 inch, and I start by cutting most of my hair. My hair's gotten quite long. I don't usually let it grow this long. But I've been wanting to do this film for several months and haven't gotten around to it. So here we go. I put on the trimmers and I just started cutting. Cut everything I can. Pull up the hair. Because I'm starting with the longer trimmer, it doesn't matter. I can cut everything, so start with the longest one you want. And of course, if you're not sure what length you want your hair to be when you're done, just start with the biggest one you've got. A 1 inch, I think, is normally the largest size. Generally want to cut against the grain, so the opposite direction that your hair grows naturally. And if you've let your hair grow long like I have in this case, you'll probably, even when all said and done, you're going to miss some of this, so you're going to maybe want to go back and do it the next day. If you do this every 3 to 6 weeks, you probably will get it clean the first time through, and you won't have to do any cleanup thereafter. Once I get most of it taken care of with the longer length, I move on to the shorter one and start working on the sides. Now with the sides, what I'm going to do, I'm going to run straight up the side of my head, and I'm going to keep this level as I go up. And I'm not going to follow the curve of my head. I'm just going to keep going straight. And if you follow that curve a little bit, no problem. Don't follow it too far or you'll end up just cutting all of your hair really short. Now to get around the ears, you're going to take the guard off entirely, and you're going to have to do this in the mirror, but you're going to do this without the guard, and you're just going to take it right up around the ear very carefully. And you can push this trimmer right up against the skin. I'm not saying it'll never bite you, but you'll survive it. It's not a big deal. So make sure you get everything around both ears. And decide where you want to cut your sideburns to. Now that I've looked in the mirror, I can kind of get a sense of what things I've missed. I'm going to go back to the longer length blade and try to trim out those spots I've missed. Not the longer blade, but the longer guard. I don't know what they call these things. And now I'm going to go back to the short one for the rest of the back. Again, if you do this regularly, then you're not going to end up with the kind of mess that I've got right now, where I've probably got some pretty big areas that I missed that are significantly longer. If you're doing this every few weeks, then you if you miss a little bit, it's not so noticeable. It's easier to clean it up. What I'm going to show you now is the real magic of this. When I first started doing this, I couldn't figure out how do I clean out the back of my neck, which is, I can't really see what I'm doing back there, and I tried to place some mirrors just so, and worked at it, but I could never really get a good angle with the mirrors I had in my house. So one day I thought about duct tape. So if I can't see it, maybe I can put something in the way to block myself from cutting the wrong place. So what I do is I take this tape and I go from ear to ear. I put that tape on just like so. And then with no guard on the clipper, go back over here and I just take off everything that's below that tape line. And that is how you use duct tape to cut your hair. It's pretty easy to take that duct tape off again because it's full of all the hair that you were trimming initially. Keeps it from sticking too tightly.